heart pounding, drenched in sweat,
You got this!
and no excuses. These are the greatest workouts in America.
We as humans are far more capable than we believe.
No matter the odds,
Think about the end result.
get out there and get going.
We're gonna start with 45 minutes.
This is Pumped. First stop, New York City.
Awesome, like this gay sports league that support each other as a loving family. Welcome to Gay-Ball.
What the tournament does is that it allows people who are from across the world to build community around their identity, their sexual orientation, and their love for the game of football. And it also changes the narrative that sports are not for people who identify as LGBT, and it starts to shift a narrative that the NFL is not in support of folks who identify as LGBT.
The Flag Football League has been around since 2002, and it started with a group of friends out in California, and it has expanded from 4 teams to 64 teams.
So I actually played in Boston before moving to Minneapolis, and I had such a great time there. I wanted to start up a league. The Minnesota Vikings came on board and sponsored us after their LGBTQ summit. It's been amazing. They've given us a lot of opportunities. They've been a great partnership. The Vikings have just been there since day one. It's been awesome.
Having the NFL sponsoring and partnering with us gives us legitimacy, and we're being part of the football society, and it's simply amazing. I mean, we're just so thrilled that the NFL feels that we're important enough to partner with. You see people who are scoring their first touchdown, and the joy of that is amazing. So watching this and being part of it and giving back is pretty awesome. And it's just blossoming across the country where now there's 24 cities participating in this event. Some of our major cities are Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Austin, Texas, Portland. We are certainly out of the continental United States because we're in Toronto and we're also in Hawaii.
The most important by far is the friendships and the bonds that you make. Some of my best friends are from cities all over the country, and I want to see them once a year at this tournament. But the bonds you make, playing against them, hanging out with them after, it's just friendships that are going to last forever. This is a chance for people to find that inner athlete.
I knew I loved sports, but as a former NFL player, to be able to meet gay, lesbian, trans folks who were like sports, and that I could also learn more about what it meant to be LGBT, it was just the perfect opportunity for me to grow as an individual. When you're trying to make the leap from telling yourself that you're gay to telling the entire world, you need a family. And what this league provides is just that.
I'm a risk taker. A smart one is debatable, but I'm a risk taker. I always try to test my limits regardless of the challenge. When I was younger, I was jumping 2-3 steps with my wheelchair. Now I'm jumping 25 staircases with my wheelchair. One of my videos has inspired a little kid in a wheelchair to do pull-ups, and I'm honored to be an example for them to push themselves into being the best versions of themselves. My name is Woody Belfort. I am 23 years old, and I'm a Canadian athlete that uses a wheelchair. Basically, I do anything with my wheelchair. I do Soleil with my wheelchair. I do calisthenics with my wheelchair. I do wheelchair basketball. I'm an athlete with many sides to myself. It was an epiphany. I just woke up and I just realized that rock climbing was a thing. I grabbed that one thing and I said, can I put my wheelchair skills with that one thing to make something beautiful with it? And it turned out it worked. Bodybuilding was by pure accident. I came across a bodybuilder at an event, and he said I was pretty well built. I went to one of his shows. I won by accident without proper preparation, and I saw that I had pretty much great potential, which is remarkable for a 23-year-old who has no prior knowledge and experience in the sport. The hardest thing is consistency. When you want to improve on something, you have to keep repeating and repeating and repeating. Practice makes progress. It motivates me to see, what could this take me for next year? or in 10 years, and just pushing myself, knowing that I'm getting better. Even if it's by inch, I'm getting better at what I'm practicing. I love joining a new sport because I'm joining in that community too. When a group of people share the same passion, beautiful things happen. I like the fact that I'm not always the best in the room, because it allows me to learn from that person and take some stuff from his arsenal and put it into mine. Anybody with the right motivation can succeed in being great, whatever that definition is to you.
Perú Inca Fall es la agrupación que yo formé dedicado al Perú, y Inca es porque es nuestros antepasados, los incas. Tratamos de llevar lo más representativo del Perú, que es la marinera, las danzas de la sierra como con el traje que estoy puesto. Y también tenemos un grupo minoritario que es la cultura afroperuana, que también la practicamos. La marinera es una síntesis de varias culturas, ¿no? Tenemos lo andino, tenemos lo africano y tenemos el español. Entonces es todo ese complemento.
Marinera is like a couple first. It's a pareja that they're like falling in love. So there's a first dance and a second dance, which is all one dance. So primera y segunda. So there's like a whole story in the dance.
Luego vamos a bailar también una danza del Cusco, que es muy representativo. Todo el mundo conoce Cusco. Cusco es como Manhattan, Nueva York, que es la capital del mundo. En el Perú, Lima es la capital, pero Cusco, Machu Picchu nos representa también.
Es importante saber este baile porque es como que típico de tu país y es como que una manera de representar tu país e identificarte.
Es un significado grande porque practicando tus raíces vas a ser parte de este país. Porque si tú no sabes de dónde vienes, no sabes a dónde ir. Y si tú no sabes tus raíces, ¿cómo tú puedes aportar a este país como migrante? Es muy importante saber de dónde vienes, es muy importante practicar tu cultura. No debes olvidarte de tu cultura. Eso te va a hacer diferente a los demás.
Coming up.
I came across a 100 burpee challenge that I wanted to do. I was going to make the students be my accountability partners.
And later,
there are people who are going to say, you know, this isn't a girl sport, girls don't belong doing this kind of thing.
You're watching Pumped. Welcome back to Pumped. We're headed to Chicago.
Boy, out. Push up. Jump, that's why.
I came across a 100 burpee challenge that I wanted to do and just sort of decided that I was gonna make the students be my accountability partners.
Hey everyone, Jesse Kirsch here. You're gonna love this. A suburban PE teacher visiting his students at home to make sure they're getting some exercise, and he's taking it up a notch.
Do boobies and bad dad jokes.
Been known to share some bad dad jokes around the school pretty much daily. I've told over 170 different bad dad jokes at this point.
They weren't that bad. They weren't that bad.
How does a penguin build his house? He glues it together.
It really meant a lot. All these like curveballs that have been just thrown at us this year. Thank you for taking all that and putting out something that's amazing and wonderful and a memory that we'll be able to keep and cherish for years to come.
We're all there for the students, and we love our students.
You better get hydrated for this workout. Bad dad jokes and burpees.
Imagine jumping up, feeling like a squirrel, then slamming yourself down to the ground, doing a push-up, and then repeating that at least 10 times.
I was sort of slacking in my own exercise. I was also struggling to figure out how to teach PE remotely. I came across a 100 burpee challenge that I wanted to do and just sort of decided that I was gonna make the students be my accountability partners.
So Joe Shalmoser decided he'd drop by with some socially distant, in-person fun with his students, but his school teaches kids from all over the Chicago area, so that means a lot of driving.
You didn't know I was coming, huh? Well, surprise!
did 147 stops, drove almost 800 miles. I actually made stops in 34 different towns.
And now he's back at it again, visiting fellow teachers too. And you better believe he's still telling those really, really bad dad jokes.
Well, what did the drummer name his two daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2. Yeah. And you're a guitar guy, aren't you?
Roosters don't lay eggs, but I still fell for it.
It was sweet and it was thoughtful and it was kind.
Almost a glimpse into what was normal. All these things, all these like curveballs that have been just thrown at us this year. Thank you for taking all that and putting out something that's amazing and wonderful and a memory that we'll be able to keep and cherish for years to come.
I look forward to see how that translates into better relationships in the classroom and therefore, you know, a better culture in the classroom when we get the chance to get back in there.
2, 1, go. All right, dude.
I love basketball because I love the adrenaline. My clients ranges from kids as young as 7 all the way to adults in their 50s.
100,000 COVID-19 deaths. Keep yourself away from others.
Fortunately, I had to put my training to a hold as I did not want to jeopardize my safety and their safety. That's when I transferred over to online digital training. All my online trainings focuses on ball handling, dribbling drills. So all they really need is a small space. I've gotten many positive feedback saying, hey, I really like what you're doing. You're keeping my kids active instead of being on their phones and just sitting on the couch. Overall, it's been an amazing experience. Besides giving myself a workout, it's time for me to give back to my community, and it's such a blessing to see kids continue to be working, staying active, even in times like these.
Coming up.
I love running, love Disney, and I saw so many people doing it. I was like, if they can do it, I can do it.
And later.
We have girls from all different districts wrestling here in our hometown, and that could have been a controversial thing to the Bayshore residents.
You're watching Pumped. Welcome back to Pumped. We're headed to New York City.
I love running, love Disney, and I saw so many people doing it. I was like, if they can do it, I can do it.
I loved every minute of it, and I thought I was going to give up, but I didn't.
I feel amazing. I'm 50 and fabulous, and I ran faster than I thought. Great experience.
Woo! I love Main Street. Just walking through, you have the whole crowd there cheering for you. The Christmas lights are still up, so it's all illuminated, and then you just run right through and you see the castle, and it's just incredible.
I've done 8 Walt Disney World marathon events, and the reason I do that is with Team in Training. They're the group that is with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Unfortunately, I lost my father to leukemia in 2003. My family and I have been dedicated to working with Team in Training and the LLS to help them raise money to help find a cure and ultimately medication and care for those patients and their families that are fighting blood cancers.
I did the 5K on Thursday, on 10K Friday, which was yesterday, today Saturday, the half marathon, and then tomorrow the full marathon.
So I was 13 when I did my first half marathon, and I think I was like 15 when I did my first full marathon. It was very exciting, the whole experience, and like getting to meet other runners and getting medals for it, and fun tradition.
It's a great experience. I mean, the Run Disney team does such a good job. You've got people from all over the world coming here to run, and everybody's in a great mood, which is hard to say when you're running so many miles, but it's such a great experience. They keep you entertained, and ultimately that helps you get through the whole 13.1.
One thing I love about the Run Disney is that you have so much going on, and the characters, the music, and everything, you're just focused on that. I don't even run with headphones and music just because there's so much going on at the same time.
I read somewhere about surviving a marathon. I'm strong, and I'm going, and I'm going to do this. One foot in front of the other, that's all. Just keep one foot in front of the other, like life.
Left foot, right foot, repeat. You know, it's just it's mind over matter. You keep going, and you always have my dad on my side when I'm running because I know he's looking down, he's pushing me along. But left foot, right foot, you keep going.
Get through it,
keep going, don't quit, don't stop running, and that was it. I'm ready to sign up again. Yay!
We're headed to Chicago.
There is accidents that happen.
And he ended up vomiting underneath me.
Baby yoga is a nice way for mom and baby or dad and baby to interact, communicate, play, and just be together. Infants never remember a messy house. They remember the love and attention you share so freely. Nosy, nosy. It's very similar to how an adult yoga class is structured. There's an intention, there's a centering, a grounding of the baby and mom to connect kind of together. I love you forever and more. Yay! And we do some poses on their back, poses on their tummy. Then we usually get up off the floor, do some higher energy poses. And then my favorite is the 5 minutes of relaxation for moms. So if a baby's fussing, I'll take them. If a baby's sleeping, we'll just leave them there. 5 minutes of the mom, deep breathing and just relaxing. Because they never get to do that.
I love how we can interact together.
How I wonder what you are.
And I feel it's a really great environment for new and learning moms. Patty is just a wealth of knowledge.
Take a deep breath. They do things like Happy Baby. They grab their feet and they roll side to side. When they start crawling and getting up, they push up to that downward dog, which is hands and feet. It's a natural thing that babies do. And they also just move that way. And it's just how they get organized, and it's just part of that normal progression of development.
This has been a really great opportunity to learn some different ways to play with him and just have fun when we're at home and do some of the poses.
I really like that we've gotten a chance to bond together, and it gives us something to do all day. I mean, there's more than just eating and sleeping with the babies. He also likes Superman. I think that's a very popular pose that a lot of the babies like. Just it helps with tummy time, getting them up in the air and on mommy's legs, and it helps mommy too because it's good for my abs.
There is accidents that happen. We do super baby and the babies will throw up. We have to have a diaper change or a blowout in the middle of a diaper cut.
We've had a spit up incident where we do a pose where we swing between our legs, and he ended up vomiting underneath me. So that was right after his feeding, and we decided to do that one. So it probably wasn't the best idea.
But it's part of life, it's part of being a mom, and everybody else in the class is a mom, so they get it. It's no big deal, no judgment.
Coming up.
People have been fantastic. We know we're over $3,000, hope to get over $5,000 before this is over.
You're watching Pumped. Welcome back to Pumped.
If you believe that a sport can be confined to one gender, I think you need to just broaden your mind and what you actually think is true, because at that point you just need to grow up, because there's just so many different types of people and so many different types of sports that you just can't confine it to one gender.
Marauders on 3! 1, 2, 3! Marauders!
Bayshore's Amber Atkins has been wrestling for more than 15 years, and now she's pursuing her lifelong dream while at the same time making Long Island history, coaching the first all-girls varsity wrestling team.
Small lift, tippy-dee. Wrong way. I started wrestling when I was a kid. My father has been a coach for Bayshore for about 15 years now. So I would learn moves from him, and eventually they let me just kind of go into it. So I did wrestle with the boys team pretty much my entire career. You know, growing up there was maybe 2 to 4 girls on all of Long Island when I wrestled. Now I'm able to have an all-girls team. It's kind of like an incredible feeling. It's something that I wish I had when I was younger.
I want more schools to have their own teams. That way we have more competition in the tournaments, and I think it's just a great opportunity for everyone.
Sometimes they're like, your daughter wrestles? She wrestles boys? Like, no, she wrestles girls. And they're like, oh, okay. Some people are like very excited about it. Like, wow, that's great. You're developing the sport, and the sport is just growing. And, you know, it's just, I'm hoping it's more of a positive outlook than a negative outlook.
To me, there's really no difference. There's no difference in the rules. There's no difference in the moves. I run the practices the same way the boys have their practices run. So to me, there's not much of a difference. It's just, you know, the female atmosphere that's different.
It feels really good because we're making a difference, because no one expects girls to wrestle, but we're showing them that, yeah, we can do anything.
There are people who are going to say, you know, this isn't a girl sport, girls don't belong doing this kind of thing. But the amount of support that we've gotten from Long Island, and especially Bayshore, our hometown, has been incredible. I mean, we have girls from all different districts wrestling here in our hometown, and that could have been a controversial thing to the Bayshore residents, but it wasn't. It was just entirely accepted. I tell them every day that I'm with them is the best day of my life, because it is. It's something that I dreamed of, and now it's happening.
Ready? Marauders on 3. 1, 2, 3. Marauders!
Every step is a step of love. You know, it's a step of saying, I'm here for you. Because things are tough, and they're really tough for teenagers.
It was really nice coming in, seeing everybody, your friends, your teachers. I think I took it for granted, actually.
You know, they've lost their senior trips, they've lost their senior proms. This is supposed to be a special time in their lives.
When I had this idea, I talked to the principal. I said, what is there a need for? And he said, yearbooks. You know, there's always kids that aren't able to get them every year. We discovered that a lot of the kids in the school are economically disadvantaged.
Now more than ever, I think that yearbook will play a special role in their lives.
One lap done! Yeah!
We went out to raise funds, and people have been fantastic. We know we're over $3,000, hope to get over $5,000 before this is over. And get us a lot of yearbooks, and hopefully give a lot of students a chance to reconnect to the memories for the rest of their life.
You get to see pictures of you hanging out with all your friends, all the school activities that you're a part of. For me, it's incredible and kind of touching to be able to see all that and relive those memories, you know?
I'm just so overwhelmed that they're even here, and they made signs. I've never had signs made for me for a race or anything, so this is like, it's a first for me. I would just be running in circles here, so it's just amazing that everybody came out and supported.